Welcome to Drums by Liz. Okay, everybody. Oh, that was a short little ending there. We're playing a paradiddle groove, and we're putting it into a sextuplet groove here, okay? So it starts off nice as sixteenths, but ends up as sextuplets throughout this, okay? And I did some other embellishing, threw in little fill-ins here and there throughout that 4 or 8 bar phrase that I was playing. So the very beginning part, I did a paradiddle groove March of 2026. You can go back and study that if you need a little brush up on the paradiddle groove. Basically, it's just paradiddles going back and forth between the snare and the hi-hat. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Based on beat 1 and the and of 3. So 1 the and of 2 the and of 3 the and of 4 the and of. Now to make it come to life, we want to accentuate 2 and 4 in the of 2. Pull out those notes, to make it accentuated there, okay? So right, so that is helpful, okay? Another little thing that I do once in a while in that 1 and a 2 and so you can switch the sticking on beats 2 and 4, or just maybe beat 2, leave 4 as the original part, to left, left, right, left. And then I'd like to maybe open up the cymbal. So I'll play that a couple times. So that's a nice little variation within this whole idea. Now, when I was getting to the 4th measure there, I was shifting it to then a sextuplet groove, keeping the bass pattern the same though. So triplet, 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 triplet. We could start with something like that, okay? And finding like 3 and, but try to just now find beat 1 and then the and of 3. And let me make sure that sticking pattern is right, okay? Because I would like it to be a little bit more on the snare than it is on the hi-hat, okay? So we're going to be playing it as triplet, triplet. I'm sorry. Triplet, 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 triplet. Now that's very slow, okay? As then triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, to find that and of the beat. Maybe after a while, just try to count 1 and 2 and. So 1 and. More advanced, but you want to be able to feel and understand less than what you're playing and then more than what you're playing. I was always taught to count more than I play, okay? But then sometimes also count less and see if you can just feel like the underlying 8th note throughout all that intricacy that we're playing, okay? So again, the pattern, triplet, triplet, triplet. So you're coming off the last 2 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so stay on 5, 6 on the snare drum. Okay, so. Okay, and then of course, sometimes, yes, we float it back up to the hi-hat if we'd like. All right, so you've got those options, and that sounds nice to be thrown in with this. I also found that like a half measure of this works kind of nice too. So you can, again, experiment with the idea. So maybe we wouldn't even do 4 bars. Maybe you do 2 bars. Quiz yourself. Can you go from the 16ths right to the sextuplets? So, again, I'm floating my sticking in and out from the snare drum to that hi-hat, okay? It doesn't have to be written in stone. You can leave it alone. You can make it a real, strict pattern, but you can also play around with it, okay? And then, yes, maybe float it around into some fill-ins, right? So, like stuff like that, right? Get that right hand to move around within the paradiddle-diddle sticking, okay? And you'll find that, hey, this kind of can work for us, right? And it's nice stuff. It makes you have to shift on the fly, be able to do this stuff, rather quickly, okay? All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for all the likes, the shares, the subs. Everything is greatly appreciated, okay? And I hope you're becoming skillful, and I hope you're enjoying the lessons. Let me know in the comments what you'd like more of. Maybe something that you found you use this with. Tell me how you're tweaking it. Let me know what you've done with it, because maybe I can learn something from you also. Okay, I love that. There's a lot of give and take between a student and myself, and I always try to honor that. Okay, everybody, have a great week ahead, okay? Happy spring, and we'll see you in about a week. Happy drumming.